If you move, it will move right away to 2 with the y-axis. Now the next to it right away to 3 instead of 0.5. So that's in terms of a grid and snap. There is another thing here which is it's needed or needed to see your work, which is dynamic input. As you can see now, my mouse, there is numbers next to it. So as much as I move the mouse, there is X value and Y value. For example, if I type 2 and X, you can see it next to my mouse, and then move it to Y-axis, let's say 4, enter, it will take me to the point of 2 and 4. But if I turn off the snap, I mean input, dynamic input, as you can see, it is here and then the bottom. If you click on it, now there is no information showing next to the mouse. Simply, if I want to add anything, I need to come and click on the in the command bar and type it there. For example, at whatever the value of X, like the homework you do have now, and then comma, whatever the value of Y, for example, 3. Now it will take me with an angle. I have faced some or I have received some emails from you guys asking about angles in the homework. In the homework, I forget what's the starting point, but as I remember, it is something similar to this. You go straight line in here, and there is some angle here, and then there up and go, something similar to that, but there is missing information. So how can you work with that missing information? So simply, from the starting point, to do the angle of over here, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to do any calculation. So simply, you can use Cartesian method, which is at whatever the value for X, but this time, because I am going to go left, I need to make it as negative. Let's put numbers. So -1, for example, that's the value for X, comma, what's the value of Y? It is given as a dimension. So let's say it is 2, for example. I want to go up. Up means I'm not going to add any negative signs. So just type 2 and then enter. As you can see, I used whatever the value for X and whatever the value for Y without using any type of calculation or finding what is the angle over here. Another thing here, once you having straight line, I don't know what's the angle for this line, and also I don't know any information. I don't know what's the y-axis or x-axis. But on the other hand, I know everything about the other side. So simply I can draw from the left all the way till I reach this point, all of the information till this point, I knew it very, very well. So simply I will come to it till I reach it. And then from bottom, I will start again from the starting point, draw a straight line. I know the information for it as well. And then just use regular line to connect these two lines together. So that's in terms of reviewing for the homework. And also a couple of things in this lecture, which is the dynamic input, what's the difference between them, grid and snap. Let's start with those, or before I come to here. I have mentioned last time that we do have a command. which is, or let's call it another word, which is shortcut to draw something. In the first lecture, we only used line. We use it as geometry, which is typing entire name, which is line, or another thing, which is typing only the command or shortcut, which is letter L. Just by typing L and then enter, right away it will give me line option or a line function where I can start drawing using line. The question is, how many shortcuts do we have in here, or how many command do I have in the AutoCAD? What do you think, guys? Any idea?
No, Doctor.
Well, I think too many.
What is that? I'm sorry.
I think too many يعني واجد موجود عندنا كثير.
Yes, it is too many. But how can I know, or how can I tell, or how can I find where are they at? Simply, you can go to Express Tools, you click on it, and then Command Aliases, you click on it. It will show you all of the shortcuts and the command or the geometry. That's come as default, or by default come with the AutoCAD. You can simply add or remove or edit any of these commands. You can add even your name. For example, you want to create something shortcuts for entering your name. You can add a new function or new command that if you type this, whatever, it will give you whatever else. So that's preparation for the AutoCAD by itself. Please take advantage of using those tools, which is Snap Tool and Grid, with those tools in the bottom. So let's start with our polyline in the drawing section. What's the difference between line or regular line with polyline? So if you click on polyline, it will ask you again, similar to exactly similar to the line. It will ask you what is the starting point. Let's say I want it to be 2, 2. And then what is next point? The same way, which is at, let's say I want it to be 2 in X value, comma, I want it to be 0 in Y value to have a straight line. We are working in the same thing as a line. But what's the difference here? What's the difference between line and polyline? Polyline give me more options. One of the main things that I can take advantage of is the width of the line. By typing W, or in the command line here, you can see the options that you do have. So by typing W, enter, now it is asking you what is the starting width. As you can see now, it is 0. But let's say I want to start it with 0.2, for example, and now it is asking you for end of it. I want it to have, I want to have it at the same width, which is 0.2. Let's say enter. As you can see, the line now, the line width has been changed to something else. And now similar, I can use at, let's say this time 1, comma 0 at y-axis, enter. As you can see now that the difference here between the first line to the second line is only the width. Also, I can do another way for width we are going to use it really soon by timing different value of the width. So let's say we start with 0.4, for example, and ending with 0. What do you think? What's the shape it's going to give me? I will start with some number or some value of the width, and it will decrease till it reach 0. What am I going to see?
It's like cone.
Like what?
الكون قمع.
Like comma?
زي القمع كذا انه مثلث.
Yes. Or arrow سهم, like arrow. So once you click, as you can see, simply you can see now we do have arrow, and let's be specific, it is arrow, and I can choose the size for it, or I can use the similar method, which is at whatever and blah blah blah. Also, I can switch it. As you can note, till now I am still in the same mood of polyline. I didn't exit the mode and go back to the mode. I am still in the mode. I change the width for it twice, and I can also switch the shape of it. Instead to have it as a line, I can have it as an arc by typing A, enter, and now I can draw an arc using the same way of it. Simply, after you're done, you can skip to it. You will have whatever you starting with or ending with. In terms of what's the command or what's the shortcut for it, you can type PL. It will take you again to polyline right away, and you can start with it, drawing again with the same way. So now that's the main thing about polyline. So what is circle? As you can see, I do have an arrow in here in the bottom of the circle. Once you click on it, it will give you different methods or different ways to define a circle. In here, in AutoCAD, I do have 6 ways to define the method. I mean, to define a circle. First 2, it's super easy, which is the center and radius. So simply, by typing what is the starting, what is the center point? Let's say I want it to be here. And then what's the radius? Let's say I want it to be 1. It will give me the circle right away. But let's say I don't have the radius, but I have the center and diameter. So click on it, and same thing, you click on wherever the starting point, and then it will ask you to insert the diameter, not the radius. In the homework, you might face some circles with a radius, you might face some circles with a diameter. So you need to make sure to use the right one. You can use any one of them if you want to do the calculation. Like, for example, if I give you the diameter and you want to use the radius, simply you will divide what is the diameter by 2 to find what is the radius. But my suggestion to you, I don't like to do any calculation. I am a lazy person, and AutoCAD give me a lot of options I can use to depend on what do I have. There is another method or another way, which is 2 point. So let's say I know a specific point. For example, first point is 2, 4, enter. So what is the second point? Same way at, let's say it's 4 on X, 0 on Y, and enter. So it will take me, because I know what is a specific point. I know these two specific points. It will draw the circle based on these specific points. Same thing if I have 3 points, and also I know exactly what is these 3 points. I will pick them randomly now. Let's say this is my first point, second point here, third point over here. It will draw a circle where it's going to fit in these 3 points. There is 2 more ways, which is tangent, tangent, radius. Same thing, you click and you choose. So let's say I know it will tangent to this line, the upper line, but I don't know where exactly. I don't know what's the specific point, but I know it will tangent over here. And also I know it will tangent at this line, but again, I don't know where is exactly, what is the specific point. I have no clue, but I know it will tangent here. At the same time, I know what is the radius. So let's say my radius is 0.5, for example. You click right away, it will draw a circle that will be fully defined by the information that you give, which is it is tangent to this line, and also it is tangent to this line. And the same time, the radius for it is point whatever, right? But 0.5 or 1 or whatever. Last thing, which is 3 tangents. So let's say I do have this line. I know it will be tangent in here, and also it will be tangent to this line, and also will be tangent to this line. But again, I don't know what is the specific point. So by just clicking on these 3 lines, right away, it will give me a circle that will be fully defined by my insertion information. Same thing, there is a shortcut for it or command, which is typing C. It will take me to circle, enter. I can switch in here between these 3 types. As you can see now, it says specify center point, let's say 2, 2. Now it is asking me to specify the diameter. Specify the radius. If I want to switch it to diameter, I just need to type D, enter. Now it will change that to diameter, and it will ask me to insert what is the diameter. That's the main thing about circle. So let's move to arc. I'm sorry, I'm going too fast because due to the time. For the arc, we do have the same way of circles, which is once you click, you will see there's 11 methods or 11 ways. I'm not going to go through all of them, but simply, which one should I use? Let's take the question in this way. Which one should I use from all of these ways or available? I would say it's depend on what do you have as information. So let's say I do have a line over here. Oh yeah, by the way, while I am doing the line, there is another thing for lines we can do, which is multi-line by typing ML. You click, and then as you can see, it will draw a double line right away for you guys. And same thing, I can use 5 or the Cartesian method or any method that I choose. However, as you can see now, I do know 2 points, which is this point and that point. So let's say I know these 2, and I also know the center of this. For example, let's add point to it. Once you go to draw, you click, there is point over here or multi-point. You can click, and then you just need to click on wherever you want to put the point at. So now I put 2 points. As you can see, nothing has been changed. What I can do is change the size of the point by going to utilities, click, and then point style, and I can change it from here. So let's say I want to have this one as a point. For the point size, as you can see now, it says 5%. Why it's percentage? Because it is the option chosen in here. It's set to relative to the screen. You can use this, or you can use set to the size. My recommendation to you guys, always use set to the size, or set to the absolute size. And then you type what's the unit you want. Let's say I want it to be 0.1, for example, or 0.2. No, 0.1. And then click enter. Now, as you can see, my size for points has been changed. Same thing, I can type P type to go to the same page. So that's how you create point. That's how you switch or change the size of point. Also, the shortcut for point is PO. Once you click, right away it will give you an option to insert point. So let's say this is my center point that I have. So now, as you can see, I do have 3 points. This is my starting point, and this is my center point. This is my end point to draw an arc. So simply, I will come to the arc. I will choose what's the information do I have in here. I have start, I have center, and I do have end. So simply, I will go with the start, center, and end. And then I will go which one is start, which one is center, and then which one is end. There is something here we need to remember about arc. As you can note, let me delete this and redo it. As you can note, once I choose, this is starting, this is center, and this is end, right? As you can see, before I choose the end, it's only, the arc is only going counterclockwise. If I move it to the other way, it will take me from here all the way to the left. So let's say I wanted to have the arc going on this side, which is to the left side. What should I do? Any idea?
Switch between the start and end.
Exactly, thank you. I just simply start, switch between what is the start, center, and end. Once again, we need to remember that always arc is only going to work on counterclockwise. So you might face in the exam, you might face a question that says, for example, what do you need to remember about arc? Always going to work from start to the end counterclockwise. How many ways do you have to define circles, for example? I do have 6. How many ways do we have to define these? It's 11. You might face questioning like this. We will come to the questioning later on. So that's for arc. Now let's talk about rectangle. In the homework, you do have, there is a rectangle in the middle. As of now, since we didn't learn yet how to use rectangle, you are required to draw like a regular line, which is start whatever and up whatever, left to whatever, and then go down again to create a rectangle. But the good thing here, we do have an option to create a rectangle geometry within a couple of clicks by coming and click on the rectangle in here, or by typing REC for rectangle, click, and then it will ask you to specify what is the starting point, whatever the number, let's say 3,4, for example, and just give it what is the value of x-axis. Let's say it's 6. And what's the value of y-axis? Let's say it's 3 or 4. So right away, it will create a rectangle for me without me doing anything, or instead to do it in 4 times, typing at whatever on x, at whatever on y, at whatever on those. You can do the rectangle by using the rectangle geometry within 2 clicks. As you note in here, or if you can see on the next to it, next to the rectangle, there is an arrow. Once you click, it will show you the polygon. Once you choose the polygon, first thing it will ask you how many sides do you want. So you can use polygon, which is 5. You can use square, which is 4. You can use hexagon, which is 6, and so on. So let's choose 6, for example. Click enter. Now it is asking me to specify the center of the polygon. Once again, let's say it's 2, 2. And as you can see now, it is asking me a new question. I need to insert or choose one of the options, which is inside or outside or about. Let's take it easier by naming them inside and outside. So in this time, let me choose inside, which is I. Enter. Now it is asking me to insert what is the radius. Let's say I want the radius to be 1.5. What's the relation here? The question. What's the relation between radius and that hexagon that I am making here? Any idea?
والله دكتور ما عندي بصراحة في الريليشن شيب بينهم صراحة.
طيب, the AutoCAD considering AutoCAD is considering polygon or hexagon to be a circle, or it's treated as a circle. So to make it understandable more, let's draw a circle by the same information that we use to see what's going on. We use the hexagon to be 2, 2, and the size of it was, or the radius for it was 1.5. Am I correct? So yes. What's happening here, as you can see, my hexagon, it's touching the circle that I made from inside. So that's the option I was asked by, should I use inside or outside? So now simply, if I choose again polygon by typing POL, enter, I want to have 6 sides. I want to start point at 2, 2. And then this time I want it to be about, which is C or about. Click, And now I will use the same radius, which is 1.5. Now it will touch the circle that I made from outside, not from the inside. So you need to be careful which one should you use. Why? Because simply the distance now has been changed between, for example, inside, which is from here to here. As you can see now, it is 2 point whatever it is. Or if I use the outer one, and now as you can see, the outer is 3. Even though I am using the same information, while I am inserting my information, I am using the same. I use the same radius, I use the same starting point or center point. So what I want from you guys to be really careful, which one should you use? To make it easier to understand, as you notice here between these two, outside the side of the polygon, it's touching the circle, but the inside one, the angles or the corner of it, it's touching the circles. So depend on the given data. Sometimes you will have a data saying from the angle to the angle is whatever number, but sometimes no, you will see it will show you exactly from the side to the center, or like this guy over here now, it show you from the side to the side, it's 3. So simply, since I know from the side to side is 3, that's the diameter for the circle going to be inside, means I'm going to choose about a circle, not inside the circle. So we do have here something called ellipse. As you know, ellipse is like a right circle. That's a definition for it. It's a real circle having some angles. Let's make it understandable more. So let's say I do have this size, and I have a circle between, let's change the color. So let's say I have a circle from here to there. As you can see, I can see it's a right circle. Why? Because I am in the front of it. Exactly. I am in front of the circle. I am facing it in 90 degrees. So I want you to imagine with me that there's a wall in front of you, and there is a circle on that wall. How are you going to see that circle? Simply, you will see it real circle or right circle. But let's say that wall, or that wall has been rotating by some angles. For example, to make it more understandable, the rear window for the car. If you put the sign for the Mercedes, it is right circle, but if you put a sticker at it, I mean at the rear window, because the rear window it's not 90 degrees to you, you will not keep saying it, seeing it as a real circle, but you will see it as ellipse, which means the size for it from like horizontal will not be changed, but you will see the circle, like the real circle, will move, rotating, depend on what's the angle of again, what's the angle of it, of that window. Same thing here, we can use rotating, which is by selecting whatever, starting whatever, ending, and then we can use rotating to insert what's the angle exactly. So let's say I moved it with certain angle, which is like 20 degree or 30 degree or 40 or whatever. So let's choose 20. So as you can see now, it has been changed. Let me delete this. What I did here, I just move the right circle, which is the red one. I move it with an angle about 20 degree. That's why my ellipse has been changed. To insert command is EL, and then you can start again drawing or put the information. We do have here something called hatch. So you might face also a question about hatch. What is hatch? Hatch is only a pattern of lines that's going to show complicated type of the drawing. There is a standard for it. We will come to it later on, but as of now, we need to know how to use it. So simply, you need to click on hatch. The condition for it, you need to have a closed area. Means, as you can see now over here, I do have a closed area by this ellipse, or that small over here, or this guy over here, because it is closed. But if I come outside of our template and I choose OK, right away it will give you error message. Why? Because it's open area. I can't do hatch for open area. As long as I have a closed area, I can use it. This type of that's how you change the hatch type. So let's say I want to use this. Once you come here, now we will see it. It will be changed. Any one of them, once you choose it, it will be changed. And keep in mind that each one of these is representing a specific type of material. There is a standard for them. As I said, we will come on. But as of learn how to play with it and how to change. So let's say I choose the regular, which is ANCI 31, and I put it over here, for example. As you can see, it is zero angle, and simply change the size of the angle. I don't know the example. As you can see now, mine has been changed. Also, I can change the size of it. They getting smaller or bigger. It will show me the distance between these lines. I also can change the pattern way or method. We can use it to make it solid, for example. We can use any way. By typing H and enter, same way, right away it will take me to the mode of it. Do you hear? Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Great, thank you. So, last but not the least is, least but not the last is spline. So let's say I do have, we already explained what is multi-point. So let's say I do have point here, point here, point there, point over here. And I want to connect them by having a smooth curve. What should I do? If I use arc, it will be sharp it will be really sharp one, and yeah, I need to find more information. But and if I use like regular line, as you can see, it will give me a sharp lines. But in my case, I want to have a smooth line that's going to connect between them. So what can I do? By either typing SP, which is SPL, which is spline, and just pick this point. By selecting this point right away, it will give me a smooth curve that's going to connect between all of these three. As you can see, now it is, let me change the color, it's not clear. Okay, this one better, or this one better. Or by coming here and click and choose spline on the left. There is more options we do have in the drawing section, which is, for example, constructions line, which is this guy. You just select, let me change the color. You just select 2 points to give you infinity line. It goes from negative infinity to positive infinity. And same thing, we call it as construction lines, or by typing XL. And again, it will take us right away to this one. There is another thing here by this ray, which is take you only one way, which not both sides like constructions, but also, I mean, only on one side. So this is the main thing about the drawing section. That's what we are going to use in lecture 2, I mean lab 2. So everything that I am explaining now, and included points that I said, included whatever, how to change the size for the point and these things, everything is written already on the lecture note. So let me share lecture note really quick. Where is it? Okay. Can you see the lecture note?
Yes, we can see.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you. So everything that I am explaining by how to find and how edit that the shortcut of these things, and how to use grid and these, how to use each one of them, which is now dynamic if it's on or off, how to use all geometries that you can, as you can see, this table is really important. You will have some of them in the exam. Will ask you about what is the geometry. If I give you this picture, what is the geometry, what is the command maybe, or what's the function, and looks like if you use it, what it's going to be. By the end of this lecture, starting from here to the end of the semester, inshallah, by each lecture, by the end of each lecture, you can can you hear me?
Yes.
Now,
Yes, Doctor.
normal.
Sorry for the internet interruption. So by end of each lecture, you will find a summary of the lecture with a question and answer way. As you can see from here, there is multiple question and how to answer them. Let me just explain something really quick in here, which is these questions are taken, most of them taken from the book or from the Autodesk by itself, because they have teaching methods. But the answers, some of them from answer key, some of them is my words. So for you guys, once you study them, I don't want you to memorize exactly because they are not specific definition, but you can use your own words to answer the question. I am done here for the attendance. I believe all of you are here. You are 24 people now. So thank you for your coming. I am done here. Also for the attendance as well.
دكتور,
I am here for any question. Go ahead, Muhammad. رفع يدك.
is it necessary to use the dimension in the drawing?
What is that again?
Is it necessary to use the dimension in the drawing?
No. As of now, you are not required to put any dimension.
Okay, should we use the metric unit or the English unit?
It's depend on the given homework or the thing that you want to draw. As of now, for lab 1, that will be in 2 days. It is asking you to draw using metric. I explained last time how can you tell if it's English or metric. So simply, if the number or the dimension are tens, then right away it's metric. If it's ones, then right away it's inches. However, I already type in the lab note by itself. It just tell you in the instructions which one should you use.
Okay, thank you.
You are welcome. Yes, Abdurrahman or مشعل ما أدري من قبل. Yes.
For the final test, is it write up or multiple choice?
There is no multiple choices. It will